Now, how about the coaches?
Cynthia
Lucas.
Keith Cook. And I've got all kinds of coaches now. We can't do it without all the coaches.
J.R. Scholl.
Bradley Atkins. Bertie Watts.
Council, where you at? Oh, right here.
So what do you guys need anyway?
You all have to tell it, nobody knows what you want. Coaches don't know.
Oh.
What do you need, Brianna? Brianna will tell me.
Tell them louder, Jason. Tell them again.
What do you need money for?
Our uniforms.
Uniform.
Our uniforms.
One of these days, you'll be telling these girls, don't talk so much.
Cynthia sent us a letter, and we've got that in our pocket, but I was just hoping that we could just get them to talk a little bit.
Girls, don't be scared to talk. I don't have a problem.
As you go through life, you're gonna find out when you need things, you need to ask for it. You know, and when you go to places and people say, hey, what do you need? Say, hey, we need money. We wanna play softball. We wanna have new uniforms and things like that. And you might get them. If you don't ask, you never get them though.
Tell them how long y'all been practicing. Does anybody know how long we've been practicing? What month?
Since probably 10 months.
July.
You are pushing hard. Well, how old are these girls?
There's, what's that, 6, 7, 8?
6, 7, and 8-year-olds.
And they're all from Lincoln County. And they've been practicing once a week since July. I think around the first week of July. And I don't know, Cynthia's got a letter she's going to read to you all. Because we've done this once before. And we ended up there to the state tournament. And 8 of the girls we won the state tournament with started with me and Cynthia like this right here. So we want to try to start over. And everybody said, what in the world, you hit your head? We get asked that all the time. So
Well, do you think the girls could lead everybody in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I do think so. They can.
You guys can do that?
Let's all stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was really good. It was really good. We'll go ahead and call this meeting of the Lincoln County Commission to order.
Darrell Baker, clerk, present. Charles Vance, president. Charles McCann, commissioner. And Carrie Matthews, commissioner.
First thing we have on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the regular session of the Lincoln County Commission meeting that was held on February 21st, 2013 at 6 p.m.
I'll second
And then all yes?
Yes.
First thing, I'm going to go ahead, and if it's okay with everybody on the agenda, I'm going to go ahead and move the Lincoln Lasers up a little bit so that we go ahead and address their concerns and their needs. And that way they won't have to stand the whole time the rest of us do our talking. With that, so who wants to go ahead and start?
I want to speak for him tonight.
Okay.
He's got cold feet.
Imagine that.
My name is Cynthia Lucas, for anybody that doesn't know me, and I've been coaching for about 18 years in the county. Like he said, about 11 years ago, we started minor league softball in our county with 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. 9 years later, those same girls, 8 of them, won the AAA state championship in West Virginia. And I told him I couldn't do this without choking up. I'm a big sap. But today we have with us one of those girls, and that's Kelsey Browning. And she's also one of the girls that helps us coach. We have several of the former state championship girls that come back down and help us coach on occasion. We've had several of those girls. Alyssa Cook, who also now plays at Marshall University, comes back and has been a big part of this program with the girls. We want to start all over with this group. There's 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. They'll be able to play 2 years in 8 and under league. And our dream for them is the same thing as it was for our last group, to take them all the way through. told you I couldn't do this. Our main goal was to teach them the skills, the basic skills of softball, to teach them to be good players, good teammates, good citizens. And when they work together, that happens. These girls are from all over Lincoln County. We have girls from the Duval area, the Hamlin area, and the West Hamlin area. So we expect them in a couple of years to strengthen our middle school programs and then to go ahead and continue our success at the high school. Every player and coach and parent for this team has made a time commitment, an effort commitment, and financial commitment. We're completely committed to the success of this team and this program, from the bottom up. But of course, that comes with a cost. We have to pay tournament fees when we travel, uniforms, safety equipment, first aid equipment, and we carry that with us wherever we go. We've done a lot of fundraising already, and for anybody that wants, we're selling Easter eggs right now. If you want to place an order, we've really got to take those. But we also need financial support from the county if we can get that. We'd appreciate anything you can do for us. And we look to bring these girls back in about 10 years with the state championship.
If y'all remember, one time I brought the high school girls here. I don't even remember really what we was asking for, maybe support for our lights. And I remember one of them girls leaving here saying, we're gonna go practice for a state championship. And if I remember right, we won it that year when we left out of this room. Because I think Mr. McCann said, where you ladies going now? And one of them said, we're gonna go practice for a state championship. And I think we won it that year. So,
Well, you guys need to be patted on the back, you coaches, helping these kids, it means so much.
I brought some of these pictures. I just wanted y'all to see our girls when we first started. And them was the state championship girls. I mean, the little girls that you see in there is the ones, 8 of them was on the state championship team. And when me and Cynthia started that team.
You know, it's always been, we've been kind of behind in West Virginia as far as getting our youngsters involved in organized sports and things like that, and places like Florida and
Yeah.
Ohio, and those, they can kind of get a leg up on us, but they're not quite getting the leg up they used to, thanks to you guys. I think it's important is if you're gonna take on something like this, number one, it's a good physical activity, which is something we need for all the kids to be involved in. But it's also, I think, it's a very learning and growing experience for them, how to work with each other to accomplish things they couldn't do otherwise. And I think that's the lesson that you get out of all this. And I was around when we won the state championships too. And I really think that what's important is those kids, these girls, wouldn't gain the potential they could if we didn't have you guys helping, or if we weren't willing to help and things like that. And I think it takes a commitment from all the community to do this. And I think we're more than willing to help the commission. Do we have any idea, well, as far as what we want? Again, they're asking for $1,500 or a motion.
I move that we give $1,500.
Is there a second? I'll second. Is that an all yes vote?
Yes.
All right, girls, we're gonna give you $1,500. Does that sound okay? In a few years, you're gonna win a state championship. How's that?
We got to work on the talking part. Next time we come back, we'll have
Y'all
to
listen to
talk.
this man here, you'll learn how to talk. Thank you, girls.
Thank you very much.
You all can do them. Or you can stay.
Thank you, Earl. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sorry. Okay.
John says thanks for moving to the front.
Come and see us play this spring.
Yeah. Sorry. The next thing on the agenda is Ronnie Lambert, 10 Mile Water Project.
Why I'm here is because of the water project on 10 Mile. I just want to thank the commissioners and everybody for what a wonderful job. Let everybody know who I am. I'm Ronnie Lambert, lived on 10 Mile. I'm a retired coal miner. I've been living on 10 Mile for about 35 years now, and I'm a assistant pastor at the Upper 10 Mile Church. And they gave me a letter to present to the committee, the commissioners, and it says this. It says, I would like to thank you on behalf of the 10 Mile community, especially the members of the Upper 10 Mile United Baptist Church, for all that you did to make the 10 Mile City Water Project a reality. So many people take for granted simple things like having plenty of clean, fresh smelling water and being able to wash their clothes without worrying about them becoming damaged or stained. These things are a luxury to those who have never had city water. We are so thankful that you were an instrument in bringing this simple luxury to us. It is a greatly appreciated, sincerely, the members of the 10 Mile community. We really appreciate it. We thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you, Ronnie. This is something that, I know we, back when we were meeting up at the Upper 10 Mile Church and stuff like that, and trying to get this water project approved, and having, me and Mr. McCann's worked on it for 10, 12 years, forever, trying to get her done. But, you know, we tried it once, it went over the budget, didn't get the money, things like that, and then, with the help of Governor Manchin, at the time we got the ARC grant, which allowed us to go ahead and get other monies to complete that project. And I told this commission before, and told people from this seat here, that there's nothing more pleasing to me than to drive up 10 Mile Creek now and see water hydrants. Because I can remember back being a kid there and having to swim in the creek to get clean at night and things. You know, we had so much iron and stuff in our water. You know the situation. But anyway, the creek wasn't that clean either. But I mean, that's really the only alternative we have. And I just went up through there the other day and back down, and I said this before. I'm proud of doing that more than anything that I've done since I've been on the commission.
We thank you.
Water. I mean, there's a lot of places like 10 Mile that need water still yet. There's a lot of places that we've addressed already, but those people on 10 Mile waited a long, long time, and I'm very, very happy that you all have the water, and I'm sure the rest of the commissioners are too.
Well, we thank you, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll get out of your way now.
I'm going to see you anytime you want, Ronnie.
Okay, thank you.
Next on our agenda, we have Jerry Swanson, Judge Thompson,